Hello everyone, MarcusWolfe here, welcoming you all back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Trials and Tribulations. I really need to retrain my brain to say Trials and Tribulations. I really do. Oh boy. Last we left off, we finally got a contradiction in, except it doesn't seem to do much, because Mr. Payne has a witness. Another witness. Actually, a witness, because he called a defendant in an attempt to, have Phoenix discredit himself. But now, we have an actual witness. Phoenix's girlfriend, Dahlia Hawthorne. $10 that she's not going to say good things about her lovely boyfriend. Court is now back in session. Mr. Payne, please, call your witness. This next witness is someone who saw the crime as it happened. The prosecution calls Miss Dahlia Hawthorne to the stand. Oh. What's with this silence? In my long career as a judge, I have been deceived by many a witness. It's my job to doubt, to take no one at their own word. But in your case, young lady, I must admit that you radiate a complete glow of sincerity. Oh my god, I can't believe the judge actually said that. Now then, witness, if you could please state your full name for the court record. Don't worry, sweetie, there's no need to be nervous. If anyone says anything rude, you can be sure I'll cut them down to size. And I will bash them with my gavel. Oh, I love how they look straight at me when they say that. Thank you for calming my nerves. You are all so nice. I almost feel right at home. Oh, not at all. It was nothing. If we may move on now, what is your full name and occupation, witness? My name is Dahlia Hawthorne. I'm a junior in literature at Ivy University. I just want to say, well, it's an honor for me to be here in your noble presence. The honor is all mine. No, honor is mine. Well, we know whose milkshake brings all the boys to the yard. Sir? Is there something that I can help you with? Like my mouse not clicking? Are you serious? Oh my god. There we go. Oh, you just go on ahead and say whatever is on your mind. Well, I'm sure that there must be some kind of mistake. Feeny would never kill anyone. I just know it. Yes, I can see why you'd say that. She's gonna be a tough witness, alright. It only took her 12 seconds to wrap everyone in this courtroom around her little finger. Now then, you may proceed with your testimony, witness. Let's hear about what you saw on the day of the incident, if you please. I had been planning to go back to Feeny's place after class was over. Feeny and Dougie, they were talking behind the building, the pharmacology building. Then suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and just collapsed. That's when Feeny noticed I was there. I went to go and find some other students, and they're the ones who called the authorities. I don't know what to say. According to you, Miss Hawthorne, the defendant didn't do anything wrong. Young lady, as old as I am, even I can recall how hot the flames of youthful passion can burn. Nevertheless, it is my job to discover the truth. So please, tell us. But I would never... That's more than enough, witness. I won't be allowing this to continue.
What do you mean by that, Miss Fay?
Please, let me proceed with my cross-examination, Your Honor. I, for one, don't plan to win my case on a bunch of paper-thin lies. Oh, you haven't changed a bit, Mia Fey. What's this? Are you two acquainted? Yes, prosecutor. We have met once before.
Well, in any case, Miss Fay, the floor is yours.
It's good to see you again, Madame Fay. Madame? I am no one's grandma yet, girlie. We have some history here. And you can just tell by that small thing, it's like, Mia, she knows her. She's like, I'm all business. I'm not playing around. It's like, oh, okay, What is your previous business with Dahlia Hawthorne? I had been planning to go back to Feeney's place after class was over. Okay, so, unless I'm mistaken, Feeney, Mr. Wright is in the art department. If that's so, then what were you doing by the pharmacology department? Well, I'm in the literature department. I'm currently studying Japanese senryu poetry.
Oh, how wonderful! It's that humorous yet satirical style of haiku, yes?
Nothing left to do. When a man reaches this age, sleep is his best friend. That's supposed to be poetry? Sounds more like a midlife crisis. For me to get to the art department, I have to walk through the back area.
Ah, I see. That does make sense. When I want to enter the courthouse, I always walk through the front doors.
How else would you enter, Your Honor? Teleportation? I loved dialogue in this game. I forgot how the series was really with their dialogue. It's like the humorous stuff. Feeney and Dougie? They were talking behind the building. The pharmacology building. And who is this Dougie person? Oh, I'm sorry. Doug Swallow. We were dating until about 8 months ago. So what were Mr. Swallow and Mr. Wright talking about? How can you be so mean? I would never eavesdrop. I wasn't raised to be so rude and unrefined. That's right, Miss Fay.
Don't drag the witness down to your level.
Why am I the one being demonized here?
Please, go on, Miss Hawthorne. What did you see next?
Well, suddenly, Dougie got all wobbly and, well, he just collapsed. So, you're saying that the victim just collapsed on his own? Yes. In other words, the defendant never once touched the victim. Is that right? Well, I was watching the whole time. Feeney never did a thing to Dougie. I pressed her for no good reason. Just know the judge will be angry with me. Still, what should I do about her testimony? So she's saying that nothing happened. Nothing happened. Nothing happened. How many times do I have to repeat it before the folks watching understand what I'm saying? Something happened. Miss Hawthorne, feeble lies are not very becoming, so why don't we just drop them? Oh, what? I would never... Miss Fay, I will not allow you to be badgering this witness. I believe the defense is engaged in a fishing expedition. That is, well, she has no supporting... Please stop glaring at me like that! I'm only doing my job! Now then, Miss Hawthorne. The defendant's palm print was found on Mr. Swallow's leather jacket. Exactly.
That and one more thing.
It has already been shown that Mr. Wright did, in fact, push the victim. What? There's no need to try to cover for the defendant. It would be much better if you came out and told us the whole truth.
Well, there's nothing to worry about, young lady. Just please tell us everything that you saw.
Yes, Your Honor, I will. If you don't mind, I'd like to revise my testimony. Looks like we're finally getting somewhere. Actually, I didn't see the moment that he pushed Dougie.
So you didn't see it?
Well, I saw the moment when Dougie fell to the ground. And at that time, there was only the two of them at the scene of the crime. The defendant, Phoenix Wright, and the victim, Doug Swallow. Yes, that's right. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual either.
So then, what did it look like they were doing to you?
Well, I thought they were just having a nice friendly chat. You know, a mid-afternoon conversation. Oh, give me a break! That's why I really wasn't watching them all that closely.
Well, did you notice anything out of the ordinary?
No, nothing at all, Mr. Judge.
Oh, I like the sound of that, Mr. Judge. Now then, please, proceed with your testimony.
I then went to go find some other students, and they called the authorities.
When you say students, do you mean the ones from the pharmacology department?
Yes, they're all very fond of their drugs. Please, try to stay on topic.
That sounded so horrible. It's like, yes, they're so fond of their drugs, just in the pharmacology building, snorting it up. They're also very fond of their drugs. Oh, that sounds so horrible out of context.
So, to find some pharmacology students, you went to the lab, correct? That's what I was planning to do, but I ended up not going. A group of about 10 or so students came running out. Somehow they all seemed to know what was going on.
The students knew what was going on? Huh. But how could they have known what was happening?
Well, I don't know for sure that they knew. It's just, they seemed kind of excited about something.
Doesn't look like I'm going to get any more information about them.
So did the students end up calling the police? Yes, I was just so panicked.
Yes, well, anyone would have been, my dear.
That girl, she's telling a super obvious lie and she knows it. She's just pretending to protect Mr. Wright. Yeah, that's gotta be it. Way to go, Mia. That means I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper to find a contradiction on this one.
I already know where it is. I just wanted to know what the rest of the conversation was. It didn't look like they were fighting, and I didn't hear anything unusual either. My dear lady, did you really not hear the sound of an umbrella breaking? Mr. Wright himself said that it broke when the when the victim landed on it, after being pushed. They were fighting, and you should have heard the sound of the umbrella breaking.
Objection!
Never mind, Oops. Really not that? Really not that? Well, okay, there is another thing that can be made an argument for, but really not the umbrella? I thought we kind of established that the sound of something breaking was the umbrella, but okay. Sure, whatever. Whoops.
The witness's testimony is clearly contradictory, Your Honor.
It could be.
Well, it has to be, right? I knew it.
However, your evidence doesn't show whatever contradiction you think you see. Objection denied. try to think it over again.
Well, here goes a few points for the judge.
Whoops. Okay. It wasn't that. It was... Oh, are you serious? Okay, you know what? That's fair. It's not the umbrella itself. It was Phoenix's own testimony. I was on the right path. I picked the wrong evidence. Oops. I thought if I showed her the umbrella, it's like, you know, this broke and it made a noise. No. It's Phoenix's own testimony. Whoops. My B. Hello? Thank you.
So you're saying you didn't hear anything unusual, right? Yes, yes. That's why I was very relaxed, just enjoying the scene around me. That's nice, but I find that a little hard to believe, witness. I have here Mr. Wright's testimony, and he clearly testified to the following. That when he pushed the victim, he heard a sharp, loud noise. He said that? If you were really that close to the two of them, why didn't you also hear this noise? Well, maybe the noise wasn't all that memorable. But according to Mr. Wright's testimony, it was a sharp noise like a snap. There's no way something like that could fail to make an impression. May I have a moment to answer, please?
Well, but by all means.
I know the reason why I didn't hear the noise. You see, well, the mouse is not clicking, so I can't continue my discussion. I had my headphones on, and I was listening to music at the time.
Headphones? You mean that both your ears were covered?
The rain was just beginning to let up, but it seems as though Thor wasn't ready for his fun to come to an end yet. So the sky continued to flash and rumble.
Thunder and lightning, huh?
Yes. You see, I'm scared of the sound of thunder, so I put my headphones on to block it out. Well, Your Honor, as you can see, there weren't any contradictions in her testimony after all.
Wait a sec, Mia. That testimony just now, she said something that totally changes this whole case. That there was lightning. We haven't heard anything about lightning this entire time.
Your Honor, I believe there is a problem with the witness's testimony.
What do you mean?
Didn't you notice? She just said that there was lightning, or am I mistaken?
Yes, she did. But what about it?
Well, lightning is actually a large discharge of electricity in the atmosphere, am I right?
Now, see here, Miss Faye, now is not the time for a science lecture.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm sorry. I'm just simply saying that since the cause of death was electrocution, isn't it possible, then, that the victim died from being hit by a bolt of lightning?
Oh! Well, I must admit that the thought did not occur to me.
Just what kind of thoughts do occur to the judge, anyway? Look, this entire case has been built on the premise that Mr. Doug Swallow was murdered. However, that very premise itself is mistaken. The defense believes now that Mr. Swallow was, rather, the victim of a stray lightning bolt.
Well, it appears that the defense may be onto something. Could it be that the death was actually accidental?
Alright, you did it, Mia. I'll be taking that. I am hurt that you have such a low opinion of me, Miss Faye. I'm not a fool, you know. The prosecution has done its research, Your Honor. We found that there were no lightning strikes on that day at that particular location. What? What's more, we have evidence that the electrical cable is definitely linked to this case.
Evidence, Mr. Payne? Well, what exactly is this evidence?
This affidavit, Your Honor.
And who is it from?
The pharmacology students. They were conducting experiments in their labs that day. So allow me to read aloud the testimony of the students. All equipment at the labs lost power all of a sudden at around 3 p.m. that day.
Was it a blackout?
Well, all the lab's equipment do run on high voltage electricity, Your Honor. So you're saying the equipment lost power because... Precisely. We lost power because of the severed electrical cable. The power outage occurred at approximately 3 p.m.
Which fits with the time of death listed in the autopsy report.
Exactly. In other words, the victim died as a result of touching the severed electrical cable. And according to the students, the cables are very, very old. They were planning on having them replaced sometime in the near future.
I see.
Apparently, they'd become so brittle that even the smallest bump in the night would cause them to break.
Student's testimony. The old power cable broke due to some sort of impact on April 9th at 2:55 p.m. So they broke No. The watch stopped at around 3:04. Well, so a little after 3. Yes, but there is one thing that troubles me. If the cable could have been broken by any kind of small bump, then wouldn't it have snapped if it had been bumped into, correct?
Well, I suppose you could say that.
Miss Faye, your thoughts on this severed cable?
Your Honor, I don't like how this is looking one bit. You have to come up with something to try and regain some momentum. If it pleases the court, the defense would like to state its opinion.
Very well then, let's hear it. Who or what was it that caused the cable to break?
It can go a couple of ways. I mean, oh, that's not what I wanted, but whatever, okay.
No. Either Doug swallowed him... No.
Phoenix pushed Doug. And if we're to say that Doug didn't die then, Doug hit the electrical pole. So the answer can go either way. It's not a what in this case. Well, it is the shove, but who caused the cable to break? Was it Phoenix due to shoving him, Doug? Or was it Doug due to running into the pole? I'm going to try and say it was Doug, because it was him hitting the pole that caused it to break. So, that is my answer. This is it. This is why the cable snapped. Well, Your Honor.
I believe that the only thing that has snapped is the defense's mind.
Oh, that was one of your best lines yet, Your Honor. Okay, that was a bit harsh. Please, Your Honor, give me one more chance.
Well, let's hit it.
Okay, not that one. It was probably Phoenix Wright from the push. Okay, yeah, it was the push. Okay, I figured it could have gone either way. It was either Doug hitting the pole, or Phoenix pushing Doug into the pole. Your Honor, please think back to Mr. Wright's testimony from earlier.
The defendant's testimony?
Yes. He said... Oh god, that noise scared me. He said that after he pushed the victim, he heard a loud, sharp noise. Now, this happened at around 3 p.m., right?
Yes, that sounds about right. Wait a minute. Are you suggesting?
Yes, the lab equipment lost power at 2:55 p.m. That fits right into Mr. Wright's timeline. In other words, it was Mr. Wright's shove that caused the power outage. Yes, yes, the prosecution has also come to that same conclusion. And it was that very shove which caused Mr. Swallow to be electrocuted. Well, I'm afraid I can't agree with you on that, Mr. Payne. Well, what's that supposed to mean? Take a good look at where the victim landed after being shoved. Do you see the umbrella? It's by the electrical pole. That's right. The victim banged into the pole in the background as a result of being pushed. And it was from that impact that the cable broke.
Well, that does make sense. And it was afterwards the victim was electrocuted.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, but no. That doesn't make any sense at all. You see, if the victim was shoved into the background pole, then he couldn't have been electrocuted by this severed cable in the foreground.
Ah!
In other words, someone other than my client must have electrocuted the victim.
Order! Order in the court!
Ha! The lamentations of my enemy. Oh, how I've longed to hear them.
It is true. The defense is absolutely correct. There doesn't seem to be any way the defendant could have done it.
Mr. Judge, sir, may I say something? The Madame Attorney's explanation? She said some things that, well, they're a little different than what I remember. What the? Please, just once more. May I please testify one last time? Please, Mr. Judge?
Well, of course it's all right. Just go ahead and give your new testimony.
This is it. She's finally starting to show her true colors. And I need to get a drink. Give me a quick second. Oh, thank God my cup is right here because I just spilled the drink. Oh well, I can clean it in a few minutes. Wow. The truth is, Beanie pushed him twice. Where's my mouse? Oh God, there it is. The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke. Then, Ducky tried his best to run away from him. But Feeny caught up and crashed into him from behind. The cable snapping and Ducky being electrocuted, it all happened in less than a minute.
It is hard to do my version of Dahlia's voice, the high-pitch, the high-pitched cute girl. It's like, oh God. And then I also have Mia's, which is just a slightly lower inflection. It's like, Miss Hawthorne, lies are very unbecoming. And then Dahlia's like, oh, how could, it's like, how could you, Madame Faye? It's like, God damn it. So after being shoved, the victim got up and tried to run away.
And that is when the defendant pushed him for the second time. I'm so sorry, Feeny, but I just have to tell the truth. Am I doing the right thing? Am I, Mr. Judge?
Well, of course you are, my dear. As painful as it may seem, you are. Now then, Miss Faye, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Pushed him twice.
Ah.
The truth is, Feeny pushed him twice. Miss Hawthorne, you previously stated the following in your testimony. Actually, I didn't see the moment he pushed Dougie. I know. I'm sorry. It's just that, well, I wanted to protect Feeny. So that's why you basically lied to the court. I was a bad girl, I know. Mr. Judge?
Yes?
Would you please forgive little old me? Of course he won't.
What you did is... Oh, come on now. It was just a little old white lie. We'll forget it this time, but please, be more careful from now on, alright?
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Judge.
Oh, not at all.
Really? The judge had better be more careful himself. A dark alley is friendlier than that girl.
Damn, Mia! A dark alley is friendlier than that girl. I mean, not to lie, the way she's acting with the whole Mr. Judge, it's like a snake just waiting to strike at you the moment you come close enough to kiss it.
The first time was into the electrical pole. That's when the cable broke.
So you're saying you actually saw the victim getting pushed into the electrical pole?
I know he doesn't look it, but Feeney can be a bit of an imp when he wants to be.
Oh, really?
But I never imagined that he would cause an electrical cable to break. Feeney really is scary when he gets mad.
Yes, he does sound like a very dangerous individual indeed.
Then, Dougie tried his best to run away.
Okay, so let me get this straight. You were happily listening to your music on your headphones while you watched this scene unfold.
Now, Miss Faye, I'll have to ask you to stop badgering the witness. I wasn't happy. I was so scared that I couldn't even move. All I could do was stand there and cheer them on.
Cheer them on? What do you mean by that?
Well, I wished the best for them both, and that they would each give their fight their all.
Well, that's very sweet of you to be so supportive.
And what happened after that?
That's supportive? You're egging them both on to fight? How is that supportive? That's like manipulative girlfriend zone.
But Feeney caught up and crashed into him from behind.
But that doesn't sound quite right. There were handprints found on the chest of the victim's leather jacket.
Mr. Payne, were there also prints found on the back? Well, no they weren't. Madame Faye, may I suggest that you listen a little more carefully?
Huh?
I said that he crashed into him from behind, right? My Feeney would never leave any prints behind in that case, would he?
Ugh. I mean, she's got a point. If you crash into someone, or something, you're not necessarily going to leave prints.
The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted, it all occurred in less than a minute.
Wait a minute! I just realized something there.
Did you actually witness the moment the victim was electrocuted? I'm sorry, I didn't really see it. I turned my eyes away.
That's understandable.
Yes, indeed. It would have been a horrific sight for anyone to behold.
I don't figure out the contradiction here. It's all over. She didn't have much time to come up with her lie, so this is my best chance. There must be a hole in their testimony somewhere. Think, Mia, think!
No, I found it. Hello, yes. The cable snapping and Dougie being electrocuted. It all occurred in less than a minute. No, girl. The cable snapped at 2:55. Doug was electrocuted a little after 3. That's about, we'll be generous, 10 minutes. Girl. Actually, me. Which one do I present? Because I know what. Do I present the affidavit? Or do I present the watch? No! The watch. The victim's watch stopped at the time of death. And it stopped a little after 3.
Objection!
That's enough, witness.
What? I'm sorry, Madame Faye, but I don't understand.
Oh, you will in a minute. Could you please take a look at this picture?
Oh, the medicine. That's the one Feeney likes for his cold.
Oh, but it's not the medicine that I want you to look at. It's the wristwatch. It stopped at the precise time the victim was electrocuted. In other words, 3:05 p.m.
Yes, and your point is, Miss Fay?
My point is this, Your Honor. What time was it when the lab suffered that power outage? Well, according to the student's testimony, the answer is clear. It was 2:55 p- Ah! Exactly, Mr. Payne. So now, Miss Dahlia Hawthorne, would you care to explain to this court what exactly happened during this 10-minute interval? The defense proposes that it was during this 10-minute interval the real murderer came and killed Mr. Doug Swallow.
Order! Order in...
This is nonsense, Your Honor. The real murderer? Even you can't deny that the time between the cable breaking and the electrocution are completely unaccounted for, Mr. Payne. But then who was it? Who else are you suggesting could have done this? Well, there is only one other person who could have murdered Mr. Swallow. Only after my client had left the scene was there a window of opportunity for the real killer.
Miss Fay.
Oh dear, I clicked out. There we go. Oh god, where am I? Okay. I clicked off screen and then I went to the wrong window.
Miss Fay, is the defense ready to indict someone as this real killer?
It's finally time. This is the moment I've been waiting for. Yes, Your Honor. We're ready.
Very well then. But remember, if you accuse the wrong person, you will be penalized. So think carefully before you speak, Miss Fay. Now, let's have it. Who is this real killer? Damn it, I cannot save at this point in time. Fine, I'll say it now and save later.
Oops. Profiles. And I want Dahlia Hawthorne. The reason I say this is because she lied quite clearly. She pretended the whole 10 minutes never happened. It did. Why would she lie about a 10-minute gap? Makes no sense. Please present. Thank you. It can only have been you, Dahlia Hawthorne. How can you... The defense is grasping at straws! 10 minutes passed between the time the cable broke and the time of the electrocution. Well, what exactly were you doing that whole time, Miss Hawthorne? Were you really listening to some music while cheering them both on, as you so claim? I find it hard to believe that you didn't lift a single finger to stop the men dearest to you.
Order! Order! Miss Fay! What? I mean, that is to say...
Miss Hawthorne, I believe you did witness to two men fighting on that day. However, after Mr. Wright pushed Mr. Swallow and left the scene, it was you who came and pushed Mr. Swallow to his death. Yes, you, by your very own hands. Ah! How can you say something so mean, Madame Fay? I didn't do anything.
Miss Fay, need I remark...
Your Honor! Please, I have something that I want to say.
You! What is it?
Please, please strike everything the defense said just now from the record. What the... Are you daft, Mr. Wright? You're totally wrong, Miss Fay. Dolly, she couldn't do something like that.
Mr. Wright, please get back to your seat. Bailiff, grab that man.
Leave my Dolly alone!
Oh, that boy. He's gotten himself way in over his head.
Oh, Mr. Grossberg, you're back. And this is now where I'm really going to end the episode. Okay, I'm kind of glad that I could... Okay, so I'm learning things as I'm going along. I can't stop the episode Oh god, I need to catch my breath. I can't stop the episode when I need to present evidence. That's cool. But I can stop it afterwards, but then it's kind of weird. It's like, okay, here I played the part. There's no need to drum up the suspense. But I think it's a good place to stop anyway, so yeah. As far as indictments go, this is very weak. I mean, it's just a 10-minute gap. That's not a very strong reason to indict someone for a crime. But we will see in a moment, you know, what it may be. I mean, if we can figure out the reason. Hopefully we can. If not, then Phoenix is going to be in trouble. We'll figure it out in the meantime. But until then, I'm going to rest my voice. 5 different voices. 1, 2, 3, 4 different voices in this scene. Well, I put voices in quotations, but you know what I mean. Ugh, my voice needs to rest. Later, everyone.